This video shows you how to take a sample application and deploy it with the help of a hosted Cape instance to EKS, AKS, and a K3s cluster. You can also self-host Cape on your own infrastructure. Check the documentation for details. This is the Cape dashboard. This is currently an overview of all the resources, and generally the left-hand menu takes to those resources and the right-hand menu shows you details on whichever section you are currently in. Let's begin with connecting to a live cluster. You can see the existing clusters here. We're going to connect to a new cluster. You can build a cluster and connect, or you can connect to a live cluster, so select that option. Give it a name and a description. The type in this case is going to be lightweight Kubernetes, a production environment type, and then how to connect it. This can be with kubectl or with kubeconfig, and in this case, it's kubeconfig. It will show unhealthy for a short period of time until the agent is installed, but then soon it will show healthy. Now we'll create two cluster groups to group various aspects of the applications together. So the first one will be for just one application. Give it a name, give it a description, and select which clusters to include in it. After that, we will create another cluster group that includes all of the clusters we're using, again with a name and a description, and in this case, picking all of the clusters. Now we create a repository where there is a definition of the application we want to deploy. Create it under the Application Source Repositories menu. Click New Repository. You can select from Git or Helm charts, and then based on the Git selection, a variety of providers. Give it a name and a URL, and then click Connect. Now we create the application in the Application section. Click the New Application button, give it a name and a description, and you can also add tags for any metadata you want to include. In the next step, select the repository, the branch, and the namespace to create the application in. Finally, you set the type of deployment manifest. This can be a Kubernetes manifest, customize, or Helm files. In this case, it's manifest, and you include a path where the manifest details can be found. There's one last step, and that is to create a deployment from the application. A deployment is an instance of the application at that point in time. First, let's deploy the e-commerce side of the application, setting the branch you want to use for this deployment, and then the clusters or the cluster group you would like to deploy to. So in this case, it's a group, and then also create a deployment for the warehouse part of the application. And in this case, again, selecting a cluster group. With those deployments created, wait a few moments depending on the complexity of the application. And here is one instance of the e-commerce application. Here is the second instance, and here is an instance of the warehouse application.